What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a terrific day. I want to talk about what life is like living in a jungle, which is where I live. It's different, but it's different in ways you probably wouldn't expect. Like, obviously, you don't have Amazon, you don't have Starbucks and McDonald's and all these things. And the internet kind of goes out all the time. But it's different in like other kind of ways. The one way it's different is like it's so quiet. And I don't mean like physically quiet. It is physically quiet. But it's there's not much noise going on in the way of like distractions. I say that as there's like puppy dogs over there. But what I mean by this is that when you live in a Western country or you live in any big city, there's just constant distraction. There's people talking, they're always doing things, going places, and that is, I think, disguised a lot of times as productivity. People are like, I don't want to be bored. I'd rather be busy all the time running around so I can look like I'm actually doing something. But I know some of the busiest people I know, they're not really doing anything. They're just sustaining their life, really, but they're not actually living. They're just waiting to live. And I don't think that that's actually real living. And I realized something. Most people aren't afraid of death. They're afraid of realizing that they never lived. I'll say it again. People are not afraid of dying. They're not afraid of death. They're afraid of realizing that they never actually lived. Now, why are people afraid that they didn't actually live? Because it's very simple. People don't live in the present moment. They live in their mind. What I mean by that is they're worried about future, right? The future that hasn't even happened yet. Like they're worried about that. Or they're, planning for the future. Like they're working towards building some empire or doing some grandiose thing. Or they're have regret about their past. Like I should have done things different in my past. If I would have done this different, if I wouldn't have made that investment decision, right? Now, here's the thing. When you're living in past regrets or future fears, you're never in the present moment. And when you're not in the present moment, you are missing life, right? So it works like this, and it's actually kind of a collective madness, if you will, because you have all of these people who are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, never truly in the present moment, so they're never really truly living. Then when they get handed a terminal diagnosis, they're like, oh my gosh, I never lived. Well, when were you going to start living? If you got people always collectively, if they were given a death sentence, it would be like, I want more time. Give me more time. More time to do what? You didn't do anything with the time you had. And therein lies the problem with why people are chronically unhappy. They're not living in the present moment. They're living inside their head in thought loops, right? So then how do you fix this? Well, it's not easy. You have to go live your life now and stop putting it on hold. So what I would recommend is to cut out as many distractions as you can and sit with silence. Now, you're probably going to be like, I can't do that. I get bored easy. I'm ADHD. And people just like justify it as if they're fast thinkers, like their brain just thinks a lot more. But everyone thinks that. Everyone thinks they overthink, right? Everyone thinks I got an overthinking problem. I'm ADHD, all of this stuff. But you're not unique because you believe that. Like everyone believes that, right? The real secret sauce is to be able to sit in silence, in stillness, and allow yourself, right, to not see it as boredom, but allow yourself to transcend that and see it as peace, because it is peace, right? Be still and know that I am God. God is in the still small voice, right? Not in the loud productivity. Let me just run around like a chicken with my damn head cut off. But I need to sit and be still. And that is where life is actually found. It's true. That's where life is actually found. And most people don't realize that until they get on their deathbed, right? But if you can realize that now, 40 years before your deathbed or 20 years before, you can bypass the biggest regret of humanity. And that is people wishing I had more time. I wish that I could take the insight and the experience of how beautiful life is when you're about to lose it and go back with a healthy body, right? At 40 years old and live with the revelation of how short and how beautiful life is. Imagine if you could do that. And at the end of the day, that's all awakening is. It's having deathbed insight with the health of a younger person and being able to truly live for what actually matters. So anyway, I hope this helps. That's why I'm living in a jungle, because I understand what I'm going to understand when I get to the end of my life. How did I understand that? Because it's called, I had ego death. Basically, the me that wasn't really real, it was like I could see through it. It was like I could see through all of the pointless things I was pursuing. I could look through and be like, why was I doing that before? That didn't actually matter. I need to be more present. I need to spend time with God, every single second with God. I need to spend time with people I love. I need to be in stillness and peace. I need to allow nature. I need to be back in nature. I need to be living my life every day, okay, with presence and love and just really be in the moment and not be inside my head worried about things that don't matter and regretting things that I can't change. And that's when I truly believe I became sane. I realized, I look back and I'm like, damn, the world really is crazy, man. Like, they're really living their life as if they have an unlimited amount of it, and they're not living for the present moment. They're living for shit that doesn't even matter. And I was like, damn, well, y'all have fun. I'm going to the jungle to party with nature and God, because that's what it means to live, is to live with intention and presence for the now, because that is what we have. That's the only thing we're promised. If this video resonates with you, man, smash it. Comment below. I'd love to talk to y'all later. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.